I'll tell you what, we're going to get Brexit this week. No, we're not, are we? It's what a frustrating week. What a frustrating week. Right, let's see if I can open YouTube as well. And see if we're streaming there too. What a frustrating week. Yeah, I guess so. Right, good. So coming up in, I don't know, a few minutes. It's a call-in tonight, yeah? So you can check out, I put the telephone number on the screen coming up here. Yeah, there. So there you go. No excuse, yeah? Yeah, give us a shout. If you're watching an archive version, coming up in about 4 minutes. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty awful. Let's try this.
I'm on my own,
there we go. That's better.
Broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care. You're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Hold on. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong here.
Oh, you meant the world.
Have you noticed that the audio is not skipping?
Do this on my own.
That's about the first time that the audio hasn't skipped.
No point in blaming you.
Well, that's good.
Did not know.
That might be. I'm using new software today.
I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Oh, hold on. Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh, you meant the world to me.
China.
No point in blaming you. Did not know.
I've done pretty much.
I'm gonna do this on my own.
When is your opinion?
No point in blaming you. Did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Right. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, that's it. Oh, we're there. Well, that's it. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Hey, folks. Good evening, good people. Welcome to the Daily Brexit. Holding democracy to account, fighting for self-determination and exposing plutocracy. I'm Olly Connelly. Thanks for turning up. And now, I don't know. No idea. No idea. Absolutely no idea. How the hell should I know? Cool, look at that. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm using different software today, so I had no idea if I was going to be live. So that's useful to know. Oh, look, it says published by XSplit API. I need to change that. Very good, though. Very good. It's nice. Okay, so no idea what we're going to talk about tonight, but you can call in. The number's nowhere. I need to put it somewhere. Yeah, I'll put it up there. 033-000-11264. Please share the show. Actually, and please like the page here, because I've got this new thing that might come up on the screen and show, which I don't know, a lot of rubbish, probably. But yeah, look at that. That's good. That's nice, isn't it? That's nice. So if I take my video URL, actually I shouldn't need to do this. This is the first time I've used this bit of software, and it kind of does things in a slightly different way to the way I normally do things. So, excuse me if there may be a wee bit of chaos, but hey, what's new? I suspect actually less than there might be generally using, apart from that, using this bit of software. I suspect possibly less. So anyway, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. Fake, right, look at that, new fake tab, and then let's have a look and see what's going on in the world of fake stream today. I'll tell you a few stories that I saw, anyway, that looked interesting to me. I don't know, is she in Strasbourg now? I suppose she is, isn't she? Flying to Strasbourg for last gasp talks with Jean-Claude Juncker, his old maid. God, she looks awful, doesn't she? Government expected to table motion setting out what Parliament will vote on tomorrow. EU prepares to demand a multi-billion-pound increase on the divorce payment. This is according to Telegraph. Boris Johnson apparently said yesterday, did say yesterday, no deal is our Brexit bargaining chip, and we must hold our nerve now more than ever. It's all so obvious. Analysis, what does the EU stand to lose in a no-deal Brexit? Well, a lot of trade, I'll tell you that, which is why they'd never let it happen. And sign up, Brexit, what's up updates. There's going to be some kind of deal, folks, on things. Of course there are. And there already are, by the way. There's no such thing as a no deal. They have already decided they want to keep the planes flying for stuff like that, don't they? So, you know what? We've really got to be going for no deal, but the Parliament doesn't look as though they want to do that, do they? Let's have a quick look and see what Guido's got. They did have one or two good stories earlier. I'm a bit disorganized today because I was sorting out this new software, yeah. And I knew there was something. Here we go. Look at this. Leave means leave, yeah. Serving legal notice to the government over European Parliament elections. This is a very interesting initiative, I have to say, with speculation of a Brexit extension growing by the day. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of the old Mamba music stuff because that is beginning to do my head in. Well, how do you do that? There you go. That's it. Right. With speculation of a Brexit extension growing by the day. Oh, hold on a sec. This is Tom here. God bless you, Tom. Yeah. Hey, Tom Bell. Tom. Tom. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, good. Hang there, mate. Hang there just for a sec. But you can hear me, yeah? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Good man. All right. Just hold on for a second. Let me just go through this story because this is quite... With speculation of a Brexit extension growing by the day, there are increasing suspicions that the UK and EU will stitch something up to avoid the hugely embarrassing spectacle of the UK taking part in the next European Parliament elections, even if Article 50 has been extended past when the elections are due to take place in May. Farage will be the big winner. The Tories will be routed, is Guido's comment on that. Leave means Leave have now served legal notice on the government to notify them that they will be taking legal action to ensure that voters can still take part in the European elections if the UK has failed to leave by that time. LML founder Richard Tice warns that we cannot be in a situation where we become trapped in the EU without a say. They have served a pre-action notice to David Lidington today. Lidington now has a week to respond, yeah. And I don't know about you, but I find that very fascinating indeed. McRobbie, top comment here on Guido, says it needs to be repeatedly repeated. If we can't agree how we are to leave over a 2-year period, then what on earth is going to change over a couple of months extra? Nothing but more of our money into the EU coffers, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, Tom, did you hear about that story today?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What would you like to say, sir? What would you like to say?
I just think this Brexit thing, we had several votes already. So I don't think we should get another one. I think we just need to go World WTO and just leave.
I agree with you. Okay, let's see what else is going on. And not a lot there. Bear with me. Yeah, no, I was very disorganized today. So they wheeled old Blair back out. Former Prime Minister Tony Blair secretly advising Macron on how to stop Brexit. We had, wasn't it, who was it last week was colluding with the French in Westminster as well. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, Grieve, Dominic Grieve, another damn Blair. Former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair has been secretly briefing against his own country, according to Breitbart. Well, I mean, you tell me. To the leaders of foreign powers in an attempt to frustrate Brexit, according to claims made in a British newspaper. The arch-globalist, among whose best-known achievements include leading the United Kingdom into the Iraq War under false pretenses before leaving government to take on several extremely lucrative advisory and speaking roles and making himself tens of millions of pounds in the process, has been secretly briefing France's president on how to stop Brexit. I think that France wants to stop Macron, don't they? Fellow globalist leader Emmanuel Macron has received advice from Tony Blair on how to frustrate Brexit, claims Britain's Daily Telegraph, citing sources in Paris. The newspaper reports Mr. Blair has spoken to President Macron and met with European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker to discuss Brexit and has advised Europe to give Britain no concessions at all. And that such hardball tactics will see London eventually give up. Why haven't we just hung this man yet, you know? I'm sorry, but the guy's a war criminal. He should have decomposed years ago. And here he is. Here he is being wheeled out as the figurehead of Brino, as the figurehead of a future EU presidential wannabe and all that. And yeah, Tom, any comments, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say, he caused war, so no doubt he's going to go next to it, behind us, and stab us in the back.
It's what he's always done, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
really is a very undesirable character, and I just find it incredible that the BBC and whoever interviews this guy, and it's basically all of them pretty much one way and another that carry him and what have you, how they can look themselves in the mirror in the morning. These people,
I know.
it's unbelievable, eh, Tom? They say that, we can't listen to what Tommy Robinson wants to say, for example, and then they wheel out a war criminal who's got a million deaths on his hands, and on ours, by the way, because unfortunately he signed up our country into an illegal war.
I know.
Unbelievable. EU President, UK's experience of leaving EU will serve as a deterrent to others. This is Tajani. European Parliament President Antonio Tajani has said that the experiences of Britain attempting to leave the EU will serve as a deterrent to other nations considering leaving the bloc. Speaking to Germany's Morgenpost, the Italian politician was asked whether, after nearly 3 years since the referendum, and months of negotiation with obstructive Eurocrats in Brussels, he believed other Eurosceptic member states would be inspired by the UK to leave the bloc. I think that's impossible, Mr. Tajani told the Berlin Daily. The example of the British will serve as a deterrent. We have to change the European Union, but we have to stay together. Saying that he would be very happy if the British stayed in the EU, he maintained that Brussels would remain inflexible on Prime Minister Theresa May's withdrawal agreement and would only grant an extension to Article 50 if the UK gave a reason, suggesting a new election or a new referendum. But otherwise, the current impasse would not be eased by the bloc. They have decided to go, he said. That's their problem, not ours. Well, I tell you, Tom, I think the only problem we got is getting out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look and see what folks have got to say. I've got actually some new gadgets with this new software, so I'm going to try them out and see if any of this works. So if I put it on there, on the guest screen, then I don't know. Maybe I can. What I want everybody to do, I want you to do us a favor. I want everybody to like the post now. Or something, do some reaction so that we can see if this thing works. Look at that on the screen. There you go. That's me doing that, so it's a cheat. So if you do it, it'll be less of a cheat. But anyway, so that's cool, isn't it? That's very nice. How useful is that? More useful than this government. Anyway, right. Sarah Boland says, the lying establishment... Okay, stop it, everybody. Stop it. That's enough. The lying establishment, politicians and civil servants who have stitched us up. What else can we do? Just lie back and take it. Helen Lasky-Smith. And that's what it feels like, doesn't it? That's what it feels like. This is such a weird week. I didn't really want to do a show today, to be honest with you. I mean, it's... Oh, stop doing that! Stop doing that with the emoticons or I'm going to turn this thing off. It's a bit frustrating, isn't it? When you kind of you're faced, I think probably we all feel this, with one of those weeks where, can you believe how much democracy is just in the balance here now? You're there now. I got a new webcam, didn't I? That's right. That's what this software came free with, this new webcam thing here that I'm playing with, this XSplit thing. So anyway, very frustrating. And to be honest with you, I was thinking, I don't know if I can be bothered, but I am being bothered as it turns out. And thank you everybody for turning up and encouraging me to be bothered as well. We've just got to do what we can, I guess, and we have to be vocal. And I suppose this week we need to be vocal. Actually, you know what? A bit of a shout out to Amanda Rolfson, earlier, because she basically told me not to be such a moody git and to get the hell on with it. And so there you go. And she also sent me this clip, some awful music which I played, which didn't do anything to cheer me up. Christopher Michael Baxter says, he said, Ollie, what the story with the jihadi wife? What about the story with the jihadi wife? Please stop doing that. Stop that with the emoticons now. I'm going to turn it off, or I'm going to have to reduce the size of this thing because it is Oh no, it's just going all over the place. Hold on a sec. This is silly. There you go. Right, you got a designated area, and it's smaller. See how that goes. Right, okay. Yeah. Please correct me if I'm wrong, asked Chris. When a child is born, it undertakes the country of birth as its sovereign nationality. I think there's different laws now. What you say? Yes, Tom. I thought there's different laws depending on where it happens, but that is often the case.
I don't know. It's just this government at the minute. She shouldn't have been allowed in because she went there knowing what's going to happen. Knowing what's going to happen to the children. Then she has another one. Doesn't it seem a bit thingy to you, Ollie?
Well, she's not very good at child rearing. I've noticed that. She's not. Third didn't work out with this one either. It's an awful tragedy. Of course it is, but it's just a terrible situation. Terrible situation all round. I don't think that this government really particularly cocked up so far as the baby's concerned, though, did they? Because what could they do without putting people at risk? But on the other hand, I do think that Sajid Javid has been maybe a little bit cynical with his approach to the whole thing. I don't know. I mean, I think he wants to be Prime Minister, doesn't he? Stephen Palfrey agreed, but fight who exactly and what with? He was ill in February. How's it going, people? Ready for Brexit delay? Then another vote, because that's what we are getting, says Nick Shofi. Helen Lasky-Smith, the EU can work May like a bendy doll. I hope that she has a good medal team with her. I don't trust any of them. And Bungle Paul Case Bill Winterbottom. Hey Bungle. Hey, long time I've seen your name about. Hire from Baron Pauli von Kassenberg. 6 days till my release in 8th. That's why we haven't seen you for a while. 8th soy boy beta cockwomble butthurt offence. Yeah, people are getting banned left, right and centre. Huh? James Miller, the EU need us to keep them afloat. Let's just leave and let the EU drown. And Helen Lasky-Smith, Italy are watching us like hawks. They want out too. Christopher Michael Baxter says, you know what, the government spent more on overseas aid than it did on the police in England and Wales. £14.1 billion was handed to other countries, while the Home Office budget came to just £13.1 billion. This is a scandal. Should we start spending our money on our people? Yeah, Chris, I think we should, personally. Antonio Pobiadzin says, meanwhile, Tony Blair has an elite suite in Dubai. Most probably. I'm sure he likes hanging out with the mafia over that way. David Wolf, Italy, Ireland, France, Hungary, and Poland. I think they're all seriously thinking of leaving. And James Miller, all EU countries looking at us to create a benchmark and leave. They will soon follow. Look, folks, if you want to call in, what I'm going to do is put a number up. I don't know how to do this, actually. I'm going to have to do this on the screen and grab this bit of text and hope this works.
You should be able to just copy and paste it in the chat.
You have absolutely no idea how many problems I have with this kind of stuff, Tom, to make a suggestion like that. It never works out for me. Right, okay, I will try that. So there is a bunch of different ways there. You'd have to excuse the line breaks, but there you go. There's the number if you want to give us a shout on Skype and have a chat. So, Tom, what's your prediction for this week?
I don't know. I just don't know.
She's not going to pass, is she? Her thing is tomorrow. That's not going to pass.
No.
And then we got what? We've got whether or not they stop no Brexit. Whether or not they stop no deal. The option of that. That's that. And on the same night, we've got do they extend Article 50? I think that's the way it's working, yeah? That's on Wednesday. If she or when she fails tomorrow. I was going to pin that on YouTube as well, folks, but I can't because I'm not logged in and I can't. Tom, I'm going to put you on hold, Tom, or try to, all right?
Okay.
Okay. I hope that's worked. Yes, good evening. You've called into the Daily Brexit. Hello? I don't know. What have I done now then? What have I done now? Hold on. Tom, you're still there, yeah? Have I still got you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm also using a different telephony system tonight slightly, so just bear with me a bit, yeah? Okay, so James Dellingpole. Hold on a sec, Tom. Let me try this. I'm going to hopefully put you on hold, yeah? If I don't, give us a bell back. Good man. Oh, blimey. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, senor. How are you, my friend?
William Prentice. Hello, sir. How are you?
Very good, my friend.
Good.
A brilliant day for me. A fabulous day today.
Hold on a sec. Let me turn your volume up.
Okay,
Tom?
mate. Oh.
Right, okay. A good day for you. Hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. You can tell me why in a second. I'm just going to go through this because we've been talking about our favourite creature, Tony Blair, the war criminal. James Dellingpole in Breitbart writes, Tony Blair is a traitor. Where's capital punishment when you need it? A nation can survive. Actually, this is Marcus Tullius Cicero that he's quoting here. And why not read this? Yeah, a nation can survive its fools and even the ambitious, but it cannot survive treason from within. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and carries his banner openly. But the traitor moves amongst those within the gate freely, his sly whispers rustling through all the alleys, heard in the very halls of government itself. For the traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to his victims, and he wears their face and their arguments. He appeals to the baseness that lies deep in the hearts of all men. He rots the soul of a nation. He works secretly and unknown in the night to undermine the pillars of the city. He infects the body politic so that it can no longer resist. A murderer is less to fear. The traitor is the plague. Do you think that a traitor is worse than a murderer or even a mass rapist, William?
Well, in my opinion, they're one and the same.
They can cause a lot. They can cause much
of what he's done.
They can cause far more widespread trouble than single individual criminals, can they not? And that is the problem. And that's why we need to hit down hard on all of this stuff going on, all this treason in Parliament. We need to root it out. We have to root it out. William, you tell me, do you think, irrespective of what happens with Brexit over the course of the next few days and over the course of the next, couple of weeks, irrespective of that, do you think that we can cut out the rot in Westminster? Are we capable?
Well, first of all, before I answer that, can I say that there is no such thing as a second referendum? By law, there isn't. The reason the government want to delay Brexit is so that they can gather the 2 years needed for all the people in Parliament to gather together to get a second referendum on white paper and also passed in Parliament, which will take approximately 2 years. That is the only way they're going to get another referendum on board, which would be legal then. But a second referendum is not even on the table. In answer to your question, the only way we can get rid of this rot is to treat it by all the people that voted, instead of sitting on a keyboard, I've got to go to work tomorrow, God knows what else, fair play to them, some can make it, some can't, I understand that. Get to Parliament Monday to Friday when they're all in there. Can you imagine a couple of 100,000 of us outside Parliament demanding what we pay the blighters for?
You think we need to be there this week outside Parliament? Yeah.
Yes.
See, I agree with
so
you.
let the
I
blighters
do
know.
agree
Yeah.
with you. Everybody's talking about being there for the march, the end of the march, to be there. Basically, sorry, for the 29th of March. Yeah. But actually, it's this week. We need to be there in force, don't we?
Well, yes, and stay there.
Or both. Or both.
I think that.
And stay there,
I think
as
I
you
said
said.
it before that on the
Go on,
the
William.
22nd is Tommy's Day.
Mm-hmm.
The government have done it that way.
The
because
22nd
they
is
think
Tommy's
that
day in court. Tommy Robinson's day in court.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. They think that people are just going to go there for that day and maybe have a day off or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, for Tommy, it's worth it because it's more important than them scumbags, and they know it. But if a lot of people
I don't know that we
turn
should be
up can stay
promoting
there-
Tommy Robinson on the show. Maybe we should be promoting Tony Blair, like everybody else. I tell you, it's just incredible, isn't it?
He's a
Tony
criminal.
Blair. I mean, how on earth can anybody give that the time of day? It's absolutely disgusting. And they criticize people. They criticize people because they think, you know what, that Tommy Robinson, he might have a point. I'm kind of interested to hear what he's got to say or whatever. And incredible. Sorry, carry on.
As I was saying, that the government have made this 22nd Tommy's Day. Well, Jeffrey Cox, the holier than thou Jeffrey Cox,
the Attorney General
who has
bloke.
not committed any sin. Yes.
What's his name?
Perfect.
Anthony Cox.
Jeffrey Cox.
Jeffrey Cox. Yeah, sorry, that was a poor impression. But he's got a booming voice. Go on. Yeah.
Yes. He, first of all, he has to bring about new evidence to retrial Tommy Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is no new evidence whatsoever. Also, the second charge laid against Tommy is that he caused anxiety to the convicted child paedophiles. Now, to prove that, he has to bring the injured party to the court and swear on oath that Tommy Robinson, through whatever actions, caused them anxiety to prove the case. He cannot use hearsay in any court whatsoever. So he has one option: no further action. That's the only way he can do it. No.
How do you know?
He can't.
How do you know he's got no new evidence?
Well, if he did, he would have charged him 8 months ago.
Well, you'd think so. Yeah. Why? What is the official reason for their having dragged their feet over this? I mean, or is it somehow normal, or what?
Well, it is normal for a couple of months before the CPS say, well, yes, there is enough evidence here, or there's no evidence, or et cetera. But because he's the Attorney General, he's used his office for the purpose of delaying. And
So hold on,
knows.
but they would have presented that evidence at the original trial before he actually went to prison.
No, they couldn't have done because it wasn't new.
Well, yeah, that's right. But the point is, I don't really understand. Okay, so I suppose we're going to find out because he's going to have to present something, isn't he? On the 22nd,
of course.
They're going to have to come out and say, now we want to charge you with whatever, no? Or if they haven't already done it, you'd think that they would have to do it then. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it works. It does seem very odd.
They've only laid 2 charges against Tommy. One is contempt of court, the original one, which was quashed by the Court of Appeal judge. And also in question, Jeffrey Marston, said he did make a mistake in law. And actually, if they want to be pernickety about it, Jeffrey Marston QC should have been done for perverting the course of justice.
The judge? You're talking about the judge?
Yes. In the original trial of Leeds,
why?
he perverted He perverted the course of justice. One,
Yeah.
he was at the window and he instructed
Yes, he was.
the police
He was.
to arrest Tommy.
He was a witness, wasn't he?
Yeah. And that Tommy was not on the court property. He was on the public path,
Right.
past the steps. He actually said to the police officer, am I allowed here? He said, yes. So Tommy said to him, and I say verbatim, this is not court property, no? No, okay, I'm good here. And Tommy carried on reading what the Sun newspaper said anyway from his phone.
Mm.
Also, the judge did not have any evidence that Tommy committed contempt of court. To bring about that, he has to say, right, you're charged with it, bugger off on bail. Then he has to seize evidence. Well, instruct that evidence is seized by the police, etc., etc., witnesses, etc., etc. None of that was done.
Mm.
He overstepped his jurisdiction. So therefore, he has to be charged with contempt of court in law.
Mm.
There's no new evidence. The reason the wait made Tommy wait is to put pressure on the man. Simple as. It's not criminal, it's political because of who Tommy is and the support he commands. They're scared of Tommy Robinson because he tells the truth. How many policemen recently, may I say, how many politicians have been put in the papers and the social media with convictions for child sex crimes recently? Loads and loads and loads. What else can be exposed about them? Politicians, police officers, judges. There was one in one of the courts. He was a solicitor. He was disbarred because of having child sex pornography on his computer and things. But he was using in the courts, what is called Mackenzie Friends.
Mackenzie Friends?
Yes.
What's that?
That is where I could represent somebody with my knowledge of the courts. Inasmuch that I have an audience with the Crown, but I am the person charged with whatever or in difficulty speaks not for himself. I do. He was charging £70 an hour for women who are having problems in the civil courts with their children, access, etc., etc. Now, he's a convicted paedophile. You see what's going on?
Yeah.
They're scared of Tommy Robinson highlighting all these wrong ones, and that's what they're scared of because Parliament, police offices, stations, etc., etc., not everyone in either of the aforementioned are the same. There is a few bad apples everywhere, and Tommy Robinson can highlight it. And the government, the police, are too scared of Muslims, the bad ones, to be construed as racist. That's what it's all about. And Tommy Robinson and all his followers, I would say, are not racist. And we're not knuckle-dragging thugs either, beer-swilling thugs, as a lot of us have been called by certain members of the Parliament establishment.
William, let me take a few comments and
Okay.
and also I do want to say, Tom, I'm sorry, mate. I don't know what I've done. I maybe I cut you off. Did I cut you off? I don't know. I'll tell you what. It's such a blimey. I can add people to this call. Look, I'll tell you what, folks. What would be a lot better would be if you connected with me on Skype, probably, and then I could add you to calls quite easily as well. But anyway, right. What about Lord Pearson? Asked James Miller. Chris Rumbold, I'd love to invite Tony Blair to a military tribunal on charges of treason. But they lie, says Lynn Scott. Chris Ford, May has done a unilateral deal with Spain over Gibraltar under the guise of shutting down money laundering and shell companies, Spain being deprived of tax revenue. Spain has a couple of territories just like Gibraltar in Morocco. Ceuta and Manilla. So they're hypocrites, what they say about Gibraltar, frankly. Karen Frost, the pedo solicitor doxes Tommy. He should be disbarred. Stephen Palfrey, love the way the left media keep going on about Tommy Robinson being Yaxley Lennon, but ignore Blair's name change and why it was changed. Lots of laughs, referring, I think, to Charles Linton, no? Andreas Sabinas, and he put a link up, actually, which was very kind of you, Stephen. I think it was you that popped this up, which I'll have a look at this a bit later as well. The hold on, what's going on? Yeah, UK child abuse inquiry. So this is to the IICSA, May's fudge, another May fudge. The alleged cottaging conviction of Tony Blair. Submission to the child abuse inquiry. Something they'll never talk about in Parliament, of course. But they damn well should. Anthony. Actually, one thing about that, William, doesn't it? That what's his name? The deputy leader of the Labour Party, Tom Watson. He was got at, wasn't he? Because he asked that question about Leon Britton, all from the back benches, all puffed out his cheeks and all that. And when he and then he's made leader or deputy leader of the Labour Party, and he pipes right down. Oh, he did apologise. He apologised to Lady Britain, didn't he? And then anyway,
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, it makes you wonder. He did ask that question about basically how many VIP pedos are there. I think did he not allude to the Dickinson dossier? Did he not allude to that? He did allude to that in that question. Do you remember? To Jeffrey Dickens' dossier.
So, yeah.
He did. That was the point of the question. And a very worthy question. Yeah. One of the only useful things that have come from either side of the Commons ever. But he doesn't say anything about it anymore. He just trying to get rid of his boss or something. Anthony Pubiartsin, Muslim gangs run all brothels in Sheffield and Rotherham. Police are caught on their CCTV entering for pleasure. That is why so many cases collapse. I know so many birds that fell foul to the system. Oh, Anthony. And on the shadow front bench, we got that Tony Lloyd character who was in charge when they were covering up Rotherham, no? William?
Yes, I think he was, yeah.
He was the top cop there. And when all that Three Girls stuff was going on with about 2,000 girls or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he was flown into, he was parachuted into a safe seat. And he's now sat on the shadow front bench. And I find that absolutely incredible. I mean, he should have been struck off without a pension and just, or maybe thrown in a cell for his negligence. And maybe it's worse. I don't know. Go on, William, please. I find that very curious. It really annoys me.
in the same cell that Melanie Shaw's in.
Oh, yeah, man. Now, okay, I want to ask you about Melanie. So hold that thought. But first of all, on Discord, we've got Zach Black on Discord. And nobody ever calls in on Discord anymore, so I'm very excited. Zach, can you hear me? You look muted over there, actually. But if you unmute yourself and you can pipe up. And in the meantime, yes, please. Right, William. So what is the latest? What is the latest with Melanie Shaw?
Right. This is 100% fact. I personally phoned Leeds Crown Court today, and I do not care who's listening. It's true. Mm-hmm. I gave Melanie Shaw's case number to one of the ladies in the office, and I said, can you tell me, has a psychiatrist report been submitted by 1, 2, or 3 psychiatrists in Melanie Shaw's case, please? Hang on. No, can't find one. When was the last hearing? The 11th of February. I'll check back for you.
This is a psychiatrist. This is psychiatric report that the court.
Yes.
What? Why? Please explain its relevance again.
Well, the relevance of that, 6 times Judge Belcher has delayed the trial 6 times because she has asked and asked and asked that a psychiatrist report will be submitted to see what the state of Melanie Shaw is. Now, 3 times is okay for delaying a situation because of dates and psychiatrists might be busy that day, whatever. But 6 times she allowed it to be delayed. That is overstepping the jurisdiction. Right. So today I found out that there is no psychiatrist reports at all in there. On the 11th, Judge Belcher said that she was going to try to use Section 48 to have Melanie Shaw put in ransom. But on reflection, the said judge realized that she did not have jurisdiction to do that. She can't do it. That is the law. Mohammed Rafiq, Melanie Shaw's barrister, said he tried to say that Melanie Shaw should be sectioned under Section 48, Mental Health Act 79 and 81 thereof. He can't do it because he's not qualified in psychiatry. Also, the fact that Judge Belcher has made a statement that Melanie Shaw is mentally unfit to plead renders. Now, you can record this. This is the truth. Because Judge Belcher said that without any psychiatric training, psychiatrist reports, 3 of which have to be produced in court, backed up by the writer of the report, and sworn on oath that his or her belief is Melanie Shaw is unfit to plead or stand trial. There is no case against Melanie Shaw. Her sentence was finished in October, I believe. I'll tell the truth, I can't remember what date in October, for previous offences. They were stopped and finished and done. So on the equivalent of 7.5 months, Melanie Shaw has been on remand based on this farce. She has served the equivalent of a 21-month sentence. Therefore, the law states that is far above the limit for criminal damage. Even though the Crown said it was arson, it comes under the Criminal Act of Criminal Damage. All the charges against Melanie Shaw for these offences she was found guilty of, but was not given the chance to say yes or no, I did it, I didn't, but because they construed that Melanie Shaw is unfit to plead or stand trial, no conviction in any court of law can stand. That being the case, the law states that because 1, the judge overstepped the jurisdiction,
Mm.
Two, she allowed six adjournments for psychiatric reports, unlawfully detained Melanie Shaw, overstepping her jurisdiction. Melanie Shaw must, under the law of this country, be released today. That is a fact, and I will stand up in court and say the same. On the 2nd of April, she has to release Melanie Shaw, because the judge also, when Mohammed Rafiq didn't turn up in court last time, she allowed another barrister from the same chambers who didn't read the bundle. He had no idea of it. Also, Johnson Partners submitted a new solicitor, Ben Robinson.
Hold on. Whoa,
He
whoa,
didn't even have a clue.
William, please speak a bit closer to your microphone, sir. Let me just
Sorry.
take a few comments quickly. People sympathizing tremendously with Melanie Shaw. Tony Bingham says the legal action is to stop taking no deal off. But also legally, you cannot extend, I believe. Now, he's referring to the legal action from leave means leave to the government trying to ensure that we do get some kind of MEP representation. Which is something of an oxymoron at this stage, isn't it? If it's all extended and what have you. Anyway, Maureen Smith says, poor Melanie and many others, Godspeed their release. Bob Stroud says, guys, Parliament has gone back to pre-Cromwell days. It's now full of liars and thieves. They must be brought to heel. But how? Tanis, Mark, Boland, Pullen, of course they're all going to say she is mentally ill. It's because she knows so much on people. It's bloody wrong. Judith Jones, yes, she did have a little baby, and it was a newborn. You can see his little face in one of the interviews, and little noises were newborn. I'm not sure whose baby she's referring to there. Melanie hasn't had a baby, no?
Yes, she has.
So, right.
Yes, she has.
Sorry, excuse me. Yes, of course she did. Sorry.
Oh, no, I apologise.
No, it's all right. My memory is dreadful. James Miller, was it hers though, Judith? There's no evidence to prove otherwise. Maybe it was not her kid. Could have been anybody. I don't know. I don't know how that led that thread. Stephen Palfrey says cases for treason put into many police stations ignored. Citizens' arrest of Khan ignored. Major criminal cases against politicians ignored. Where the hell are our police/courts? Tony Bingham says, I fully believe until Mrs. May has lost her deal and we get Brexit on the back foot, you will not stop this legal barricade the government is using with Jada, Paul and Tommy. Go on, William. What would you say to that? Please. Yep.
Jada Franson sent me an email the other day there that the Bromley probation office sent Jada correspondence that because of whatever, that Jada has to go to Bromley to have an induction on community service. Now, we know that Jada Franson is not living in England, she lives in Ireland. So I liaise with somebody here in a solicitor. They are serving. And I said to them, what's going on? And she said, tell Jada Franson to let the Bromley probation office find her in default, and my solicitors will represent Jada Franson because they know that Jada doesn't live in England. She's not allowed to. But they send the Gardaí to Franson.
They send what?
On Gardaí, the Irish police.
Right. Yep.
To Jada Franson to arrest her for breach of an order. It's an unlawful arrest. And they will represent Jada Franson, my solicitors, but I won't name them here. No, they're all legitimate, proper, you know. And they've got right of audience and so on and so forth. They're on the bar. And this is what's going on. Paul Golding again and again. Because of what we know about them. That's all it is, they're scared of the people. And also, you know, them Anna Salisbury and all them lot that left Parliament, do you know they're still claiming our money? They're still
What expenses?
money.
Expenses, you mean? Oh, as well as a salary.
The wages.
Yeah, of course
the
they are.
wages.
Yeah, of course they are.
Thousands. They walk out of the job and they're still claiming our money.
That's right. That's right.
So that's it. It's criminal.
What about the MEPs that quit UKIP? Should they have stopped being MEPs, or I don't know. What should happen to them?
You've got to have your
because it's actually it's not a similar deal, is it? In fact, it's the same deal, is it not? Between them and the Tiggers, the Chuck Up Party, or whatever it's called.
No, what it is, once they vacate their job as an MP, whatever, they have got to give the constituents the chance to say, yes, you can still represent me if you get another party, or no, bugger up or get somebody else. That is the law in Parliament. They have to ask their constituents if they still want them people who vacated their positions to represent them.
You're talking about Salisbury and all that lot now, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I agree. I completely agree with you. Should that not also be the case with the MEPs, or maybe I don't know? Is it slightly different with them because is it slightly different because the European election is right around the corner? In a way, it's just a pain to have a by-election.
It's the same rules.
But the principle should be set in stone, shouldn't it? I guess. No,
it's all the same for all members of the Parliament, whatever job they are in.
Yeah.
They vacate their job. They've got to.
That's right. If you take the job and you're running as such and such, and then you change your mind, then you've got to go back to the people, haven't you? It's the only decent thing to do, really.
It's like the saying that Sajid Javid is going to be our Prime Minister or whoever. We select our Prime Minister. This is what I said last time. We're being dictated to. We pay their bloody wages. We own them. They're servants. That's what they are.
I tell you, I lie. It's just ridiculous. We are in one of the most important weeks of British politics since World War II. And I kind of feel as though the best thing that could happen would be for Theresa May to turn around in the morning and say, I'm standing down as leader and I'm calling a general election.
No, because that will delay Brexit unnecessary.
It's going to be delayed anyway. They're going to delay it anyway. I mean, my theory behind that, well, I mean, I don't know if I've got much theory behind it, but my desperation behind that, William, is that...
It works.
Well, it couldn't be worse, could it? And the sooner we have a general election, in a way, maybe better to have this week, see Parliament absolutely for what it is, and then if we had an election, then hopefully the British public would go, no way am I going to vote for that geopolitical load of old crap again.
Now, what should happen then, in the truth of the matter, the Queen should close Parliament. Then we have as much time as we need to elect who we want as Prime Minister, and anything that the Prime Minister has put there is null and void. She can't, because it wouldn't be legal, you see, what she's in stone now, because it hasn't been signed by the Queen. And also, what the hell is Theresa May begging an unelected drunkard to
Yeah, that's
tell us
right.
what
He's
we
a
want.
bit of a drunk, isn't
Tell them
Drunker.
we're walking away. We're paying you, bugger all. Don't forget, you owe us billions of pounds. We saved your backside. You owe us for walking away. We're paying you nothing. Our debt is paid. You still owe us millions. Get out of it. This is what I want for my country and my people. Up yours, good man. There you go.
Okay, take a few take a few comments. I've got this new comment thing. My picture's frozen actually, isn't it? That's all right. On the video, I need to change my frame rate with this new software probably to sort that out. But I've got this new widget in there. That's Facebook comments thing, and I've got a YouTube thing as well. I'm playing with these things anyway. I don't. Anyway, so the Marianne Alexey Hayden says, yeah, the Queen could do that, or yes, the Queen to do that. And then she's asking if she's real. Close Parliament as Cromwell did stop the rot, says Bob Stroud. Propel yourselves for a sellout, says Mark Painter. Take a few more comments and then I'll give you the latest before we wrap up for the evening on Theresa May's mad dash across the channel. Sarah Boland says, if we are going to be tied to the EU, we need as many anti-EU MEPs as possible, whether UKIP or Brexit. We need them to try and create as much havoc as possible so they throw us out.
I'd love to stand for a member of Parliament. By Christ, I'd rattle the cages.
Go on, William. please do it for crying out loud. We so need to get ourselves off this curse that is party politics, it seems to me. Tony Bingham says, but this is where it's wrong. We vote email in, but we can't get them out. Ollie Subri and the rest signed papers saying anyone who leaves a party must stand for by-election, but having done so, on that ground, the paper should be shown to them, says James Miller. I completely agree. And Dave Jenkins says, William needs to know we haven't elected any Prime Minister for a very long time. It's all controlled by global elites and the 12 families. Yeah, okay. So let me see if I can just pull up the media tab. I'm a bit clunky tonight. You might have noticed because I'm playing with this new software and it's, oh, there we go. That's the one. That's the one there. Oh, yeah, and I need to turn that off. Oh, blimey. There you go. Right, okay. So Theresa May's in a mad dash to Strasbourg tonight, making an 11th hour trip to Strasbourg as she desperately attempts to salvage her withdrawal agreement ahead of tomorrow's Commons showdown. This, of course, is the main news right now. The Prime Minister is due to meet European Parliament's Brexit coordinator Guy Verhofstadt and Antonio Tajani at 10:30 p.m. this evening to try and hash out a compromise to the agreement, which is likely to stand a chance of being supported by MPs. At that time of the evening, it would be better if she met with Juncker because he'd probably be completely loaded by that point of the evening. Yeah. And the Prime Minister is due to meet Jean-Claude Juncker to try and hash out a compromise to the agreement, which is likely to stand a chance of being supported by MPs. Well, they don't see
Juncker the drunker.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, all right. So that's what's going on. We know what's going on there. Simon Coveney announced the Prime Minister's trip this afternoon and told reporters she would go to try and finalise an agreement if that's possible. This is the woman that went to German Chancellor Angela Merkel to basically dot the I's and cross the T's on the Chequers agreement before she presented it to the British cabinet.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking.
Hold on, William. Hold on. Right, hold it. Oh, blimey.
What you doing?
Go on, William. He's on the same fader as this, isn't he? He's on the same fader. Actually, I can do something about that. Can I do it while it's... Oh, I can't do that now. William, call back. Talk to you in the week.
What do you do?
God bless you. You've been checking out the Daily Brexit. I'm Olly Connelly. I'll see you tomorrow at 7. Yeah. Tomorrow, I suppose, no idea what we're talking about.
Fuck it up, Ollie. What you done?
Hey, William. God bless you, mate. Talk to you later in the week, I hope.
Yeah. All right, mate. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for all your comments, folks. I don't want a deal. I don't want a deal, says Lee Lewis. I don't, especially not in her deal. It's an awful deal and an insult to 17.4 million voters who want out of the EU. Grow a pair, Theresa May. Well said, Lee.